Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Dan. Alright, let's just get to the point, shall we? This will be my final Wednesday video until, I guess, further notice, I suppose. So it's something I did promise I would do, so I just kind of feel like I'll just get this out the way. Of course, it's not going to be nowhere near as long as any of the other videos I had with this character. Of course not. I think I've said plenty as it is. But anyway, it's the Blu-ray version I'll be talking about, folks. Yeah, of this season one, obviously. Again, I don't talk about TV shows all that often, but since I have this on Blu-ray, I thought I just might as well. And reviewing a different version of something I've already reviewed is something I've done before, but I usually do that with movies. I might review one edition of a movie, but then review a different version of it later. So this is more or less the same thing, even if it's a TV show, really, folks. But anyway, I just thought I'd just do this. Might as well. And of course, thanks for tuning in, obviously. Oh yeah. I just thought I'd just do this real quick, of course, and whatnot. So here we are, I reckon. But don't expect me to review TV shows all that often, really, because I really do anyway. I'm gonna think about it. Anyway, regardless, as always, let's talk about the plot. I'll keep the overall summary rather brief, of course. But Wednesday Adams is sent to Nevermore Academy after an incident that happened in, I guess, a normie school, I guess, since she wanted to protect her brother due to the fact that there was some students that pretty much stuffed him in a locker. It has something to do with the swim team. So she finds where they were at and just pretty much puts a places a bunch of piranhas in the water, and yeah, there was an incident with that. And just pretty much she is sent to this academy. I guess you can say an educational facility for certain type of people, the outcast, where she pretty much meets up with her roomie, this blondie over here. I know, again, like I said in my previous videos, I know that's not her actual name, but I'm calling her Blondie anyway. And yeah, she doesn't she discovers that okay, Wednesday's not a hugger, of course. And pretty much the first episode is just basic groundwork for the rest of the series, pretty much. We are introduced with all the important characters, of course, and yeah, we pretty much get introduced with who is who and whatnot. In some ways, it was the death of a student, or supposed death, I should say, that really kicked things off in a lot of ways. And well, he appeared to be dead anyway. He appeared, and if I remember correctly, he just seemed to be injured, if anything. And there was a whole bit with a whole monster, this beast. And of course, Wednesday herself has to solve this mystery on who's doing what exactly. Up to the point, it pretty much becomes an obsession. And yes, he does, of course, it causes havoc in her own studies to some extent, on her own personal life, because this has an effect with her roommate, of course, to various extents, of course. So I mean, yes, he's really laser focused on one thing, of course, and whatnot. All the while, there are these school activities that she and her roommate have to do. And her roommate is very cheerful and happy go lucky, but even at times she gets irritated. And she gets weirded out by this, I guess, this interest of the macabre that Wednesday has, of course. And yes, even the principal may take issue with Wednesday from time to time. And yeah, that does become a plot point in the series, of course, folks. The Blu-ray release does feature two discs, by the way, folks. And yes, it's in HD quality. You can see the picture quality really sharp in this one, and that's nice. You can just see a lot of the vibrant colors, even because in a sense it's a Blu-ray. And yes, obviously, even the more darker colors, the black colors and whatnot. Yeah, you can see every lot as much detail as you could. Anyways, it's really nicely done in that regard. So yes, the quality of the Blu-ray is going to be really, really nice. And there's not one bit of there's none of the bits that felt like it came off like weird looking, because I've seen some Blu-rays where it was kind of like a bad transfer from whatever they recorded their, I guess, their project on. But in this case, It's not. It's just fine, of course, and it's really nice done in that regard. I really like the way it's done. Of course, it is available on regular DVD in case anyone's wondering, of course. But the way it looks here, looks really good. It was really nice. I guess to see all the details and whatnot, and especially it doesn't matter if they're outside somewhere or in their school or dorm or whatever. You see a lot of detail and Pumas everywhere. It looks really nice, of course. It looks nice. I really like that. And then as for the sound quality, this sound quality is pretty good too. And the sound quality has been enhanced, of course, as it should be. So there's that, of course. I like the sound quality in this. So this picture and sound quality is actually really nicely done, folks. Oh yeah, I can definitely say that. Speaking of sound, it is available for I guess Spanish. I guess you can say the Spanish option is there for those who wants to hear it in that way. And then there's also the English subtitles, I guess for the hard of hearing, I suppose, but also Spanish as well. So those options are there, of course, folks. I mean, I don't need it, but still though, it's nice to have it there. I reckon. Anyway, so yeah, this is the complete fourth season, of course, and that's definitely is a good thing there. I like that. I liked how you get to see a lot of this stuff on here, folks, of course, and yeah, that's definitely is a good thing there. This is of course, it's a horror, fantasy, mystery, comedy kind of thing, I guess you can call it, and whatnot. So you get to see how it's done, of course, in that way. You can definitely see that there was quite a bit of effort packaging this, of course. So there was that. But anyway, if I do have any complaints for the packaging, the yeah, the extras behind the scenes is not it's practically non-existent, really, which is a bit of a bummer. Like there's probably nothing there really, at all. There's probably nothing there when it comes to the there's nothing there when it comes to the behind the scenes. I can just go to YouTube if I wanted to, and see a lot more there if I wanted, which makes no sense because you would think a lot more behind the scenes extras would be there. It's just unfortunately it's not. It's barely nothing there at all. It comes to the extras, which is unfortunate, really. So yeah, I don't get it. And yeah, in some places like in Amazon, they're asking maybe for nearly $40, like 39.99 in some places. I mean the price road range, of course. Maybe go to Walmart, they might ask for maybe 29, maybe $28, somewhere around there. Even then, it still seems pretty expensive for something that has nothing there, and just seems kind of really disappointing if you ask me. Just give me a break. That's just very disappointing, as far as I'm concerned, in a way. But yeah, it's just unfortunate. Maybe it is unfortunate, obviously. So there's nothing there. It's kind of like my biggest complaint here. Anyway, I don't know, but I mean, I guess it's fine if you don't mind paying that much and just have the entire season, first season for yourself. It's not done, oh, just a few episodes here and one disc, and then you have to buy another separate set for the next few episodes and another one. Because I've seen that before. When it comes to TV shows, yeah, that's kind of the weird thing is that I've seen TV shows that were released in multiple different sets just for the first season. Then if you want the rest of the series, however many different seasons, it was the same problem. So you end up, I guess, in other words, spending more money because of that. That's just ridiculous if you ask me. Anyway, so this is the recent adaptation of the show, of course, and yes, it's definitely heavily influenced by Tim Burton, and there's that. You can definitely see this, of course. As you see, Wednesday go through various adventures, and this, of course, is the entire series. So this is pretty much Tim Burton's version, of course. She went through what 8 different schools before this one. So thanks. Anyway, so yeah, there's a lot of fun to be had here, folks. So Tim Burton does a really good job here, of course. And again, like I said in my previous videos, Ortega does a fantastic job as Wednesday, of course. And everyone else does a pretty good job here. Everyone else does a really good job as well as their own individual characters, of course, and whatnot. So there's that. So I will recommend this, of course, if you're a Tim Burton fan and whatnot. I know there's people out there that'll say if you're not like people, you're not a real Tim Burton fan if you don't like this, or in other words, you're not a real Adams Family fan if you like this and whatnot. That is so stupid. People should be allowed to like different stuff. I just think that's weird. I was uh, I was entertained. I mean, yes, I do think that this show does have a lot of flaws. I mean, there's lots and lots of flaws in the show, but it is one of Tim Burton's better projects. I know a lot of his recent stuff has been well less than stellar, unfortunately. So this is definitely one of his better projects that he had done over the years. That's for sure. And just hopefully season two won't mess things up. I'm really crossing my fingers. Anyway. So anyway, I'm rambling on this point. So I'll give this an overall rating of a 7.010. It gets a 7.010 from me. So of course, as always, thanks for watching and take care. Until next time, see ya. Oh yeah, later.